Countless videos have been made teaching people how to create the perfect protagonist, the best plot, the best power system, the best characters. But you know what most of these creators never teach? How to make a trash anime. One of the best ways to avoid making something like Tokyo Revengers is actually understand what makes an anime bad. People also fail to accept one simple fact. There has to be room for trash anime in the industry too. Like, imagine a world where every single story is unique, has a compelling plot, interesting characters, rich world building. What, you think that'd be perfect? Man, people are selfish. Listen, what about us? And by us, I mean every single one of us who actually enjoy the greatest Demon Lord is reborn as a typical nobody. Every one of us who watched the Testament of Sister New Devil and said, yeah, give me more. We, the trash enjoyers, also deserve our place in the anime community, and I think you'll agree with me on this. Life sucks, most of the time, at least. Very few people have it easy, and sometimes we just want to turn off our brains and have our vital energy sucked dry by generic anime. This is why I decided to make this tutorial, as someone who has watched and enjoyed a refureta. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm here to turn you into a professional at creating the worst thing you can possibly make. Alright, first step, and honestly the easiest one, is making your MC look as bland as humanly possible. Don't give him pink hair, don't draw him in your own style, just slap that classic black Kirito haircut on him and call it a day. Personal emotional problems? Nah, we don't do that shit here. Which brings me to my second point. He doesn't need to get himself into trouble, he doesn't need to drive the plot, he needs to react to it. That's the secret. Make sure he's a pacifist. He never wants to fight. He has to hide his powers. Kinda like Sid from Eminence in the Shadow, you know? Though Sid actually shows his power sometimes, so yeah, -1 point for him, I think. Now the next tip is one of the most important ones in this entire video. Are you taking notes? You should. Send them to another world. You know that medieval generic ass layout authors use as a cop-out so they don't have to build an actual complex world? Yeah, that one. Of course there are amazing anime that use a similar setting, but it's still a core ingredient of that delicious junk food I love. Now this is extremely important. Are you ready? Give the protagonist a harem. My boy needs options, right? Don't just give him one flavor. I mean, when you go to an ice cream shop, do you only get vanilla? Of course not. You got passion fruit, Oreo, banana, garlic ice cream. My friend, grab a spoon. You know what I'm talking about. So your MC needs at least 2 girls in love with him. That's the bare minimum. You could also give him, I don't know, 9 girls. At least for me, that's the sweet spot. Now that you've given our boy his 9 girls, you have to make sure he never actually has any meaningful romance with any of them. Each girl has to constantly get in the way of the others in a way that prevents the viewer from getting anything real. That part is essential. And maybe you're thinking this anime doesn't have any more room to get worse. And my dear viewer, trust me, I know how to make a shitty story, alright? There is always room to regress. Why make side characters complex? When I'm watching something, I don't wanna think. Don't give me problems to solve. Make your side characters very simple. All your budget and attention should go into making the girls around the MC as cute and lovable as possible. Everyone else can be as bland as a wall. They exist and that's enough. Listen, the only development your side characters should have is whatever is needed so they can eventually run into the protagonist and his girls at a pub, try to pick a fight, and get absolutely humiliated. If you follow every single thing I just showed you, you're gonna end up with one of the shittiest stories ever written. But this last thing is the real cherry on top. Game systems. You don't actually need any kind of coherence in your system, as long as your MC can level up somehow. Just slap a generic looking game menu on the screen with a bunch of random words and numbers to give a bit more consistency to the pile of crap you're putting together. And that's how you make the kind of anime I actually take pleasure in. Now, I'm not claiming to be the wisest in the arts of trash manipulation, so I wanna know what you guys would do to make your story as generic and terrible as possible. You can tell everyone your ideas in the comments below and I'll do my best to read through them. But now it's time to get a little more serious, because I really need to thank every single one of you for the insane engagement I've been getting since that manhwa video. Like, I gotta show you this. Look, a few days ago, maybe weeks, I'm not even sure, I had what, 7 subscribers? That video had like 4 or 10 views in the first couple days, and then suddenly it's sitting at 21,000 views and my sub count just skyrocketed out of nowhere for some reason. A while ago I was basically invisible on YouTube and now it's comment after comment, and that's honestly honestly insane. I did get a few, let's say, negative comments because of that video, but I mean, I'm here to make people laugh as I talk about anime, manga, and manhwa, so sometimes I'll exaggerate a little bit just for the sake of comedy. So as always, don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and if you didn't, you can throw yourself under a truck. Feel free to tell me why you didn't like it in the comments below, right? Also, just one last thing, I got a ton of manhwa recommendations from you guys, and I'll probably read one of them as soon as possible. Right after I finished Banished from the Heroes Party, I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside.